In this guide, I'm going to walk through a couple ways to kill programs, and that's a very important thing to do, especially if something has an error or it's taking too long, and it's a pretty standard practice. I do it every single day, all day, and so you'll definitely want to become familiar with these. Now, there are two ways of doing it. One is Control C, and the other is Control D. Obviously you wouldn't type this in. I'm simply letting you know what I would be hitting on the keyboard since you can't see what I'm typing. So let's talk about them because they both kill different things, and it's a subtle difference on what they kill. So Control C kills the current process, and so usually that's something to do with an application, whereas Control D actually has a couple things. One, it sends an end of file to the current process, and it also has the ability to log you out from the terminal. So I'm going to walk through examples of each one of them so you can see when they're appropriate. And usually you're fine with hitting Control C and Control D right after it, or vice versa if one of them doesn't work until you start to become familiar with it. Now I'm going to show you first Control C, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to create a very simple Ruby program. And you don't have to worry about the program itself. All I'm doing is creating a infinite loop. And so I'm going to say while true puts ASDF, and now I'll say sleep 1 second. There we go. Okay, so what we have here is a infinite loop. This will never end because it's a while loop that is checking to see if something is true, and it's always true. So theoretically this would go on forever and ever. I made it sleep for 1 second so that the system wouldn't actually time out, because I want to show you when something like this happens how you can stop it. So it's going to go forever and ever. Now if I hit Control C though, it'll actually end that program from running. So right there I was able, you can see it says abort, and so this essentially broke me out of it. But notice it didn't actually take me out of the IRB interface, which is a interface for being able to run Ruby programming scripts. Instead, it simply ended the current process, which was the script that I wrote out. Now if I want to get out of IRB, that is what Control D is for. So if I hit Control D, you can see now I'm back at the command line, and so I'll hit clear. And lastly, if I want to get out of the command line entirely and I want to log this user out, I can hit Control D again, and it actually closes everything. I'll hit Command 6, and this will open it up, and here you go, I'm back logged in, and I have access to see all my files and everything like that. But that is kind of the standard process for being able to stop a file from running, be able to get out of a program, and the subtle difference between Control C and Control D.